शिष्य गुरु गौरांग गंधर्व गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्य भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरी गुरु पार्वती की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाथ गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंग देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hari bol, everybody. Dandava pranams. 1 second. Let me just say Hari bol Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, and Champak Mataji, and Raseshwari Mataji. Hari bol. Raseshwari Mataji, I'm going to your Param Gurudev Samadhi today after the reading. I have a program there. Okay. Mangala Charan. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo, sorry. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanaikapitaro kamalaya Vishvambaro dijavaro yugadharma palo Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro. Namastrikala satyaya jagannatha sutaya cha sabhrityaya saputraya sakalatraya te namaha. Jai 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 Vishwambara Dijaraj Jai Vishwambara Priya Vaishnava Samaj Gaura Chandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadir Jai Sankirtana Moy Sundara Sharir Jai Nityanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jai Gadadhar Advaitera Prema Dham Jai Shri Jagarananda Priya Atishay Jai Vakreshwar Kashishwarer Hriday Jai Jai Śrīvāsa Priya Varganath Jiva Prati Koro Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Jena Amriter Khanda Je katha shunile ghuche antar pashanda. Madhya-khaṇḍa katha vai shuno ekachitte. Sankirtana aramba hoilo jeno mate. Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshya kshiptashtakamadhitaranga madhe. Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna. Vrinde namaste charana ravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Ore muro loko shuno Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das, Vrindavana Das Koilo Chaitanya Mangal, Jahara Shavane Nashi Sarvaya Mangal, Chaitanya Nitar Jate Jani Mahima, जाते जाने कृष्ण भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सीमा भागवते जत भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सार लिखिया चेनिहा जानी कोरिया उद्धार चैतन्य मंगल सुने जदि पाषंदी जवान सेहो महावैष्णव होय ततक्षण मनुष्य रचिते नारे ऐच्छे ग्रंथ धन्य वृंदावन दास मुखे वक्ता श्री चैतन्य वृंदावन दास पदे कोटि नमस्कार ऐच्छे ग्रंथ कोरिते हो तारिला संसार नारायणी चैतन्येर उच्छिष्ट भजन तार गर्भे जन्मिला श्री दास वृंदावन तार की अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित वर्णन যাহারা শ্রবণে শুদ্ধ কইল ত্রিভুবন সহজে বিচিত্র মধুর চৈতন্য বিহার বৃন্দাবন দাস মুখে অমৃতের ধার. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai. Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. And over the next couple of days, we'll be reading about the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. So, Shriman Nityananda Prabhu Avadut ki Jai. All right, so let me open this up. What am I getting? Okay. Okay, so we're beginning chapter 11, the characteristics of Nityananda. Oh, and maybe just to help us get the flow, maybe it would be helpful to read not the in-depth chapter summaries, but we'll read the short ones. One second. Where is it? Here. All right, so okay, so in previous few chapters, I'm going to go through them just very briefly. So in chapter 7, we read topics of Nityananda's stay at the house of Śrīvāsa Pandits. We're going to be reading a lot more about that today. Mālinī's service to Nityananda in the mood of Vatsalya, parental or motherly love for Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu shedding tears while reciting the name Pundarik. Gadadhar and Mukunda's visit to Vidyanidhi. Gadadhar's doubt on seeing Vidyanidhi's opulent surroundings. Pundarik's transformations of ecstatic love on hearing Mukunda's recitation of a verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Gadadhar's proposal to accept initiation from Vidyanidhi in order to manifest the pastime of counteracting the offense committed against the Vaishnav, and Pundarik's approval of this proposal. That was chapter 7. Now, chapter 8, it's the manifestation of opulences. Chapter 8 describes Śrī Nityananda's stay at the house of Śrīvāsa, Mālinī's service to Nityananda. Wait, we just read that. Oops, maybe I messed up here. Yeah, I think I accidentally, sorry about that. Anyways, so chapter 8 is when it's describing all this. Mahaprabhu's test of Śrīvāsa's love for Nityananda, Śrīvāsa's firm faith in Nityananda, Mahaprabhu's benediction on Śrīvāsa, Nityananda's performance of various childhood pastimes, Mother Śacī's dream. Sorry, there's somebody at the door. Mother Śacī's dream, Mahaprabhu's invitation to Nityananda, Nityananda's lunch at the house of the Lord, Mother Śacī's vision of their opulences, Gaura and Nitai's wonderful ecstatic mood, Mahaprabhu's ride on the shoulders of a singer who sang the glories of Lord Shiva, the Lord's resolution to perform congregational chanting at night, the Lord's nightly Sankirtan pastimes at the house of Śrīvāsa, the atheist's various envious statements, Mahaprabhu and his associates' kirtan behind closed doors, Mahaprabhu's climbing on the throne of Lord Vishnu, and his eating in a wonderful mood. That was chapter 8. And then chapter 9 was the Lord's 21-hour ecstasy, the Lord's Sat Praharya Bhav, and descriptions of Sridhar and other devotees' characteristics. This is one, I think, probably my favorite chapter of Caitanya-bhāgavata. That whole section about Sridhar. So this chapter 9 describes Sri Gaurasundar's Sat Praharya Mahaprakash, or the 21-hour divine manifestation, his sitting on the throne of Lord Vishnu, the performance of his abhishek by the devotees, the offering of prayers, and the worship of Mahaprabhu with 16 ingredients according to the rules and regulations prescribed with a 10-syllable Gopal mantra, the Lord's eating foodstuffs offered by the devotees, Mahaprabhu's narration of the previous histories of devotees headed by Śrīvāsa, the devotees' performance of evening arati, and then this is a huge section, the topics of the topmost devotee Sridhar, and the glories of Vaishnav's characteristics. Then we came to chapter 10, the conclusion of the Lord's Mahaprakash pastimes. This is what we finished the day before yesterday. Chapter 10 describes the conclusion of Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash pastimes mentioned in the previous chapter. Mahaprabhu's exhibition of the form of Ram with his associates and awarding benediction to Murari Gupta, the glorification of Haridas Thakur, Haridas Thakur's offering of prayers to Gauranga, the narration of Advaitacharya's previous history, his changing the text of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord's awarding various benedictions to the devotees, the Lord's first ignoring and then bestowing mercy on Mukunda, the influence of devotional service, the topics of Narayani, and the glories of Nityananda. And okay, so that's now we're reading about the characteristics of Nityananda. So I'll read this full chapter somewhere. We're going to read the full chapter today. Okay. This chapter describes Nityananda's residence. Oops, let me read it from this file. Okay. This chapter describes Nityananda's residence at the house of Śrīvāsa in the mood of a child. the joking conversation between Gaura and Nityānanda, a crow's theft of Śrīvāsa's ghee bowl that was used for the service of Kṛṣṇa, the crow's returning of the ghee bowl on the order of Nityānanda, Mālinī's prayers to Nityānanda, Nityananda's visits to the house of Mother Śacī, Shacī's parental affection for Nityānanda, and the manifestation of opulence by Nityānanda while eating sweet rice and sandeśa. Okay, so that was the brief synopsis. Now we'll read the more in-depth synopsis. Haribol Kṛṣṇa Mai, it's been a while. Great to see you here again. Okay. As a result of his sincere service to Gaur, Śrīvāsa was fortunate enough to see his own house. He was fortunate enough to see in his own house all the opulences, all the pastimes Gaurasundara performs beyond the sight of the ordinary people of Navadvip. Nityānanda stayed at the house of Śrīvāsa in the mood of a young boy and considered Śrīvāsa as his father and Mālinī as his mother. By the influence of his inconceivable potency, Nityānanda caused the reappearance of milk in the breasts of Mālinī and drank it. Although Mālinī personally experienced Nityananda's childhood mood and inconceivable influence, by Mahaprabhu's order, she did not reveal these to anyone. Haribol, Kanikam. Yes, I am. Kṛṣṇa Mai Didi. When Gaurasundara forbade Nityananda from quarreling with anyone or creating any kind of restlessness at the house of Śrīvāsa, Nityānanda put all the blame on Gaurasundara. When Gaurasundara informed Nityānanda that he felt embarrassed by Nityananda's mischievous activities, Nityānanda agreed to follow Gaura's instruction and then smiled as he immediately took off his cloth, tied it on his head, and jumped all around in the courtyard. Mahaprabhu then grabbed Nityānanda, who was devoid of external consciousness, and personally dressed him. Nityānanda constantly remained in the mood of a child and did not eat rice with his own hands. So Mālinī personally fed Nityānanda as her own son. One day, when a crow took a ghee bowl meant for Kṛṣṇa's service from Śrīvāsa's house, Mālinī began to cry in fear of harsh treatment from her husband. On seeing this, Nityānanda solaced Mālinī and ordered the crow to return the ghee bowl. On Nitai's order, the crow immediately brought the bowl and placed it before Mālinī. Seeing the influence of Nityānanda, Mālinī felt unconscious to the ground out of ecstasy. Later on, when she offered prayers to Nityānanda in various ways, Nityānanda begged her for food while manifesting his childhood mood in order to conceal himself. Whenever Mālinī would see Nityānanda, her milkless breasts would become filled with milk, which Nityānanda would then drink. In order to increase the happiness of his mother, one day Mahaprabhu sat next to Vishnupriya Devi and accepted her service of offering betel nuts. At that time, Nityānanda arrived in the courtyard of Mahaprabhu completely devoid of external consciousness without any clothes on. When Mahaprabhu repeatedly inquired as to the reason for his condition, Nityānanda, being fully absorbed in ecstasy, simply gave contradictory answers. Finally, Mahaprabhu personally put clothes on Nityānanda. Seeing the childish nature of Nityānanda, Mother Śacī began to laugh. Mother Śacī considered Nityānanda as non-different from Vishwarup, so she displayed the same affection for him that she displayed for Vishvambar. Thereafter, Nityānanda asked for some foodstuffs, and Mother Śacī immediately brought 5 milk sweets for him. Nityānanda, however, ate only one of those sweets and threw the other 4 sweets on the ground. When, out of childish whim, he again asked for food, Śacī entered the house and found the 4 sweets that she had previously given him. When Mother Śacī took those sweets and was about to give them to Nityānanda, she saw that Nityānanda had picked up those sweets from the ground and was eating them. On seeing the influence of Nityānanda, Mother Śacī considered him to be the Supreme Lord. When, in a childish mood, Nityānanda tried to touch the feet of Śacī, Śacī Devi immediately ran away. We read about that in the previous chapter also. Although such unfathomable characteristics of Nityānanda are the source of unlimited auspiciousness for pious people, they are the destroyer of the miscreants. Even Ganga Devi runs away from a sinful person who blasphemes Nityananda. The author constantly desires to hold the lotus feet of that Nityananda within the core of his heart. Hare Krishna Shasharmaji. All right, so we will be reading this full chapter today. I wonder why it has this verse here. Anyhow, we can read it. Nidhi Gauranga Kota Hoite Aila Prema Sindhu Anatera Nata Prabhu Patita Janer Bandhu. O Lord Gauranga, O great treasure, O ocean of ecstatic love, O master of those who have no master, O friend of the fallen, O friend of the fallen souls, from where have you come? I think this is a mistake. I don't think this is supposed to be here, but anyways, let's just read it in case. Among all jewels found in the ocean, 9 precious gems are considered the best. The author is joyfully describing the unique position of Śrī Gaurasundar, the reservoir of ecstatic love, in order to reveal how wonderful is the ocean of love he resides in. Śrī Gaura is the most rare treasure, the friend and deliverer of the fallen souls, and the only maintainer of persons who have no shelter. Wow, that's beautiful. But I don't know why that verse is here. Okay, so beginning Madhya-khaṇḍa chapter 11. As I mentioned, we'll be reading the full chapter today, 99 verses. Jai Jai Vishwambar Dvija Kula Singha Jai Ho Tor Joto Charanera Bringa. All glories to you, Lord Vishwambar, the lion-like personality among the Brahmanas. All glories to your devotees, who are just like bumblebees at your lotus feet. Jai Shri Paramananda Purir Jivan Jai Damodara Swarupera Pranadhan. All glories to the life and soul of Shri Paramananda Puri. All glories to the life and wealth of Damodar Swarup. Jai Rupa Sanatan Priya Mahashai Jai Jagadisha Gopinath Hridoy. All glories to the beloved Lord of Rupa and Sanatan. All glories to the Lord who dwells in the hearts of Jagadish and Gopinath. Heno mate navadvipe Prabhu Vishwambhar Krida kore nahi sarva nayana gochar. In this way, Lord Vishwambar enjoyed his pastimes in Navadvip, yet no one could see them. Navadvipe Madhya-khaṇḍe Kautuka Ananta Ghare Boshi Dekhaye Śrīvāsa Bhāgyavanta. The pastimes in Navadvip described in the Madhya-khaṇḍa are unlimited. The fortunate Śrīvāsa saw them in his own house. Nishkapate Prabhure se vila Srinivas Goshti Shange dekhe Prabhur Mahaparakash. Śrīvāsa served the Lord without any duplicity. For this reason, he and his family could see the Lord's Mahaprakash, or divine manifestation. Śrīvāser ghare Nityānander vasati Bapa boli Śrīvāsere koroye piriti. Aharnisha balya bhabe bahya nahi jane Niravadi Mālinī korestana pane Kabu nahi dugda parashile matra hoy E saba achintya shakti Mālinā dekhai. Nityananda continued to reside at the house of Śrīvāsa and lovingly addressed him as father. This is the Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Yeah, so Nityananda continued to reside at the house of Śrīvāsa and lovingly addressed him as father. He was absorbed day and night in the mood of a child and was not aware of external events. He continually drank milk from Mālinī's breast. Although there was no milk in her breasts, by the touch of Nityananda, they were filled with milk. Such was the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Lord Nityananda considered himself a cowherd boy of Vraj, and Śrīvāsa and Mālinī as his father and mother. Considering Mālinī as an elderly gopi and himself as a cowherd boy, Nityānanda enacted the pastime of drinking Mālinī's breast milk. Although there was no milk in the breast of Mālinī, when she saw that her breasts were filled with an abundance of milk for the pastimes of Nityānanda, she became struck with wonder. Chaitanya nivarane kare nahi kohe, niravadi balya bhav Mālinī dekhaye. Being forbidden by Lord Chaitanya, Mālinī did not tell anyone about this. She constantly saw the childhood pastimes of Nityānanda. Gaudiya Bhashya. Mālinī Devi, the wife of Śrīvāsa, always treated Nityānanda Prabhu as her own son. These extraordinary pastimes were not disclosed to anyone by the order of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Prabhu Vishwambar bole shuno Nityānanda, kaharo sahita pache koro tumi dvandva. Chanchalata na koriba Śrīvāsের ঘরে, শুনিয়া Śrī Nityānanda Śrī Kṛṣṇa sangare. আমার চাঞ্চল্য তুমি কবু না পাইবা, আপনার মত তুমি কারে না বসিবা। বিশ্বম্বর বলে আমি তোমা ভালো জানি, নিত্যানন্দ বলে দোষ কহ দেখি শুনি। হাসি বলে গৌরচন্দ্র কি দোষ তোমার, সব ঘরে অনাবৃষ্টি করো অবতার। Lord Vishwambar said, "Listen, Nityananda, you always pick a quarrel with someone. Do not play mischief at the house of Śrīvāsa." Hearing these words, Nityananda remembered Lord Kṛṣṇa and replied, "You will never see me playing mischief. Do not consider me like yourself." Vishwambar then said, "I know you very well." Nityananda replied, "Tell me what faults you find in me." Gaurachandra smiled and said, "Do you want to know your faults? You throw showers of foodstuffs in every room. Sab ghare anabrishti koro avatar." Gaudiya Bhashya. Understanding Lord Nityananda's extraordinary characteristics, Śrī Mahaprabhu forbade him from creating any mischief. But Nityananda objected to this. On hearing his objection, Mahaprabhu smiled as he pointed out the faults in Nityananda. While describing his faults, Gaurachandra said, "You enact the pastime of throwing a shower of food everywhere." The word anna here refers to eatables. When a child is unable to chew, he is given liquid items like milk as food and drink. If we accept the showered liquid item as a food, then it must refer in this case to milk, which is the food of a child. When a child grows up, milk is no longer found in the breast of his mother. But by the inconceivable potency of Nityananda, there was a profuse supply of milk where it was otherwise not available. Nityananda bole iha pagale she kore, e cholai ghore bhat na dibe amare. Nityananda said, "Only a madman acts like that. This is your trick to deprive me from eating rice." Gaudiya Bhashya. After hearing his faults pointed out by Mahaprabhu, Śrī Nityananda said, "Only madmen act in such a way. But it is not proper for you to cheat me from enjoying my food on the pretext that I must stop playing mischief." Amare na diya bhat, shuke tume khao, apakirti ar keno boliya bedao. You do not feed me rice while you yourself eat happily. Why else are you telling everyone about my misdeeds? Gaudiya Bhashya. Being inspired by Sri Baladev's statement to Kṛṣṇa in the pastimes of Raj, Nityananda lovingly quarreled with Sri Gaurasundar as follows. While residing at the house of Nanda Maharaj, you, Kṛṣṇa, always demand foodstuffs from Yashoda and enjoy them. Whereas if I try to take foodstuffs, You criticize me and disclose the topics of my mischief to everyone. This is nothing but selfishness. The Lord regularly ate at the house of Mother Śacī. Not receiving his share there and being absorbed in the mood of Raj, Nityananda spoke like this while conversing with Gaura Sundar. Prabhu bole tomar apakirte laja pai she she karane ami tomare shikhai. The Lord said, I feel embarrassed by your misdeeds. For this reason, I am instructing you. Hasi bole Nityananda, boro bhalo bhalo, boro bhalo bhalo. Chanchalya dekhile shikaiba sarvakala. Nityananda smiled and said, that is very good, very, very good. Whenever you see me restless, please chastise me. Nishchoy bhujila tumi, ami she chanchal, eto bole prabhu chahi hase khala khal. You must have understood that I am indeed restless. After speaking in this way, he looked at the Lord and laughed loudly. What's khala khal? Hase khala khal. God, I love Bengali. I wonder if it's like like belly laugh. I'm just wondering. 1 second. Let's see. Khala khal is word denoting loud laughter or gurgling noise of water. Okay. Khala khal kore hasa. That means burst into a laughter, a giggle. Khala khal kore hasa. Cool. Just learned a new word or phrase or whatever you say. Okay. Hari bol Vidyalalasa Didi. Anande na jane bahya ko na karma kore. Digambar hoy vastra bandhile na shire. Jore jore lampha de hasiya hasiya. Shakal angane bule dhuliya dhuliya. Out of ecstasy, Nityananda lost his external consciousness and forgot what he was doing. He then removed his cloth and tied it on his head. He laughed as he jumped about and staggered like a drunkard around the courtyard. Gaudiya Bhashya. We see that being inspired by his transcendental Vraj pastimes, Nityananda removed his clothes and tied them on his head like a turban. These activities are simply Nityananda's reenactment of his Vraj pastimes while absorbed in the bliss and completely devoid of external consideration. According to the consideration of the external world, Nityananda Prabhu was at that time an adult. But his imitation of childish activities completely bewilders the minds of people who are dependent on sensual perception. His hopping about and frivolous sporting in various ways are beyond the consideration of materialists. That's why Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes are extremely difficult for anybody to understand. That's why we have so many verses saying anybody who offends Nityananda, because yeah, I think it's very common people misunderstand them. Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Ar Haridas Shikshar Prasade Shabe Dekhe Digbas. Seeing Nityananda without any clothes, Gadadhar, Śrīvāsa, and Haridas understood that these pastimes were to teach some lesson. Daki bole Vishvambar, eki koro karma, grihaster barite, emoto nahi dharma. Vishvambar called out, what are you doing? It is not proper to act like this in a householder's house. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sriman Mahaprabhu was the covered fountainhead of all incarnations. He never agreed to display his conjugal pastimes of Kṛṣṇa. That is why he loudly protested such mischievous activities of Nityananda and said that it is extremely objectionable for an adult to wander about like a boy without any clothes on. Hari bol Suryavi Didi. এখন এখন এখনই বলিলা তুমি আমি কি পাগল আমি কি পাগল আমি কি পাগল এক্ষণে নিজ বাক্য ঘুচিল সকল A little while ago you asked, am I a madman? But now you are contradicting your own words. Gaudiya Bhasha. Oh Nityananda, you just said that you are not a madman, and now you again failed to maintain your truthfulness by acting in a contradictory way by removing your clothes. Jar bahya nahi tar vachane ki laja, Nityananda bhashaye ananda sindhu majha. Can anyone's words embarrass a person who has lost his external consciousness? Nityananda floated in an ocean of ecstasy. Not impossible to make Nityananda feel embarrassed. Gaudiya Bhashya. Can anyone who is not aware of the external world feel shamed by arbitrary talk? Since Nityananda Prabhu was merged in an ocean of ecstasy, he was completely aloof from the good and bad of the external world. Apane dhoriya Prabhu paraya vasan, e mata achintya Nityanandir kathan. The Lord then personally caught hold of Nityananda and dressed him. Such are the inconceivable pastimes of Nityananda. Nityanandir vachana ankusha matra mane, Nityananda matta singha ar nahi jane. Nityananda was like a maddened lion and could not be controlled by anything other than Lord Chaitanya's words, which were like a sharp iron hook, like an ankush. I'm used to hearing ankush described as an elephant goad, like for, I guess it's iron hook also. Oops. Accidentally turned that. Okay, it's a goad or a hook. Okay, cool. Gaudiya Vasha. The word Vachanankush refers to a controlling stick in the form of words. Apani tuliya hate bhat nahi khai, putra pray kori anna Mālinī yogai. He did not eat rice with his own hands. Mālinī would feed him as her own son. Nityānanda anubhav jane pativrata, Nityānanda seva kore jeno putra mata. Chaste Mālinī knew the glories of Nityananda. Thus, she served Nityananda as an affectionate mother would serve her son. Gaudiya Bhashya. Chaste Mālinī Devi, the wife of Śrīvāsa, treated Nityananda as her affectionate son. Just as a mother serves her own son, Mālinī Devi served Nityananda in the same way, considering him as her own son. Ekadina pitaler bati nila kake, udia chalilo kaka je bonete thake. One day, a crow took a brass bowl and flew away into the forest. Adrisha hoya ka kon raje gelo, mahachinta Mālinīr chitte te janmilo. Soon the crow flew out of sight, and a great anxiety filled the heart of Mālinī. Bati tui she kaka ailo arbar, Mālinī dekhaye shunya badan tahar. Leaving the bowl somewhere, the crow returned. Mālinī saw that the bowl was not in its beak. Mahativra Thakur Pandita Vyavahar, Shri Krishner Ghrita Patra Hoilo Apahar. Shunile Pramar Hobe Heno Mane Gani, Nahiko Upai Kichu Kanda E Mālinī. Śrīvāsa Pandit would become extremely angry because the bowl that was used for offering ghee to Kṛṣṇa had been stolen. Thinking that he would create havoc as soon as he heard about it, Mālinī did not say anything, but simply kept crying. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrīvāsa was a great devotee of Kṛṣṇa. Thinking that Śrīvāsa Pandit would become extremely angry on learning that a crow has taken away an ingredient of the Lord's service due to his wife's carelessness, Mālinī Devi became afflicted with a burden of distress. Eno kale Nityānanda. How would she be able to stop that though? Anyways. Eno kale Nityānanda aila she sthane dekhaye Mālinī kande ajhor nayane. At that time, Nityānanda came there and found Mālinī crying profusely. Hasi bole Nityānanda, kando ki karan, kon dukho bolo, shab koribo khandan. Shab koribo khandan. Nityānanda smiled and said, "Why are you crying? Tell me the reason for your distress, and I will take care of everything." Mālinī boloye shuno Śrīpada Goshai, Krita patra kake loy, gelo kontai. Mālinī replied, "Listen, Goshai, a crow stole a ghee bowl and left it somewhere." Nityānanda bole mata, chinta parihara, ami dibo bati tumi krandana sambar. Nityānanda said, "Dear mother, do not worry. I will give you the bowl. Please stop crying." Kakaprati hasi prabhu bolo ye bachan. Kaka tumi bati jhata. Anoho ekon. The Lord smiled and said to the crow, "O crow, return the bowl at once." Sabar hridoye Nityānanda vasati, tar agya langhi bhek, kahar shakati. Lord Nityananda resides in the heart of everyone. Therefore, who has the power to transgress his order? Shuniya Prabhur agya kak udi jai, shoka kuli Mālinī, kaker dike chai. Being ordered by the Lord, the crow immediately flew away as Mālinī, who was overwhelmed with lamentation, looked on. Koneke udiyat kak, adrisha hoilo, bati muke kori puna sheikhane ailo. Within a short time, the crow flew out of sight and then returns there with the bowl in its beak. Aniyatulia, tuilo bhati Mālinīr sthane, Nityānanda prabhava Mālinī bhalo jane. The crow set the bowl down in front of Mālinī, who knew perfectly well the influence of Nityānanda. Oh, Hari Bol Yashoda Didi. Anande murchita hoila apurva dekhiya, Nityānanda pratistuti kore dandaiya. Seeing this wonder, Mālinī lost consciousness out of ecstasy. She then stood up and prayed to Nityānanda. Je jana anila mrita gurur nandan, je jan palana kore shakala bhuvan, jamer ghara hoite je anite pare, kakastane bati ane ki mahatva tare. For he who brought back the dead son of his spiritual master, who maintains all the universes, and who can bring a soul back from the abode of Yamaraj. It is not at all glorious to bring a bowl back from a crow. Gaudiya Bhashya. The first line of verse 46 is explained as follows. During their Mathura pastimes, Lord Baladev and Kṛṣṇa once went as brahmacharis to Sandipani Muni's ashram of Avantipur for studying the scriptures. In order to instruct everyone, they served their spiritual master in various ways and learned 64 varieties of knowledge in 64 days. I've been there. I've been to that. Sandipani Muni's ashram. When I was 7, though. When, after completing their studies, they expressed a desire to give some Guru Dakshina, Sandipani Muni, who had seen their uncommon characteristics, requested them to bring his dead son back from the great ocean at Prabhas Tirtha. Both Balaram and Kṛṣṇa thus mounted a chariot and went to Prabhas Tirtha, or Dwarka. When they then demanded the son of their spiritual master from the ocean, the deity of the ocean informed them that the son of their spiritual master had been killed by a demon named Panchajana. On hearing this, Balaram and Kṛṣṇa entered the water, went to the palace of Panchajana, and killed him. But when they did not find their spiritual master's son within the belly of the demon, they went to the abode of Yamaraj. Yamaraj duly worshipped Śrī Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, and according to their order, brought the dead son of their spiritual master back to life they offered him their spiritual master's son. Yamaraj offered their spiritual master's son to them. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 45. Jahar mastak upari ananta bhuvan, leelai na jane bhar, koroye palan, anadi avidya dhvangsha hoy jar name, ki mahatva tar bati aneka kasthane. For he who holds innumerable universes on his head, and yet does not feel their weight, and for he whose holy name destroys one's nescience that has no beginning, what is the wonder that he brings a bull back from a crow? Gaudiya Bhashya. For a description of the Lord's holding innumerable universes on his head, one should refer to Srimad Bhagavatam 5:17-21, 5:25-2 and 12, and 6:16-48. And the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary of Adhikanda 1:13. For a description of the destruction of nescience by the Lord's holy name, one should discuss Srimad Bhagavatam 3:9-15, 6:2-7, and also 11-12, and 6:1-15, 6:3-24, and 6:16-44. The verse of Shikshashtak and Bhakti Rasamrita. Also, one should discuss the first verse of Shikshashtak and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Dakshina Vibhag, verse 51 of the first chapter. Okay. Je tumi Lakshmana rupe purve vanavase, nirantar rakhak achila sita pashe. While living in exile in the forest as Lakshman, you constantly remained by the side of Sita as her protector. This is Mālinī Devi speaking to Nityananda. Gaudiya Bhashya. For a description of this pastime, refer to the Ramayana, Aranya-khaṇḍa, chapters 24 and 43. Tatapi hamatra tumi sitar charan, iha bhai Sita nahi dekhile kemon. Yet you never saw Sita except for her lotus feet. Gaudiya Bhashya. In the Ramayana, Uttarkhanda 58:21, Lakshman speaks to Sita Devi as follows. O beautiful one, what are you saying? O pious lady, I have never seen your form before. I have only seen your lotus feet. Tomar shebane ravaner vangshanash, she tumi je bati ano, kemone prakash. For you who destroyed the entire family of Ravan by your arrows, what is the glory in bringing a bull back from a crow? Gaudiya Bhashya. For a description of this pastime, one should refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 10, and the Lanka-khaṇḍa of Ramayana. Jahar charane purve kalindi asi. Oops, sorry, this was not broken in the right spot. Okay. Jahara charane purve kalindi asiya. Stavana korilo mahaprabhava janiya. After realizing your power and glories, Yamuna Devi previously offered prayers at your lotus feet. Gaudiya Bhashya. While residing at Dwarka, Lord Baladev once came to Braj to meet his well-wishers. He stayed there for the 2 months of Chaitra and Vaishak, April and May. At that time, Śrī Baladev drank the Varuni sent by Varuna, the predominating deity of water, and enjoyed pastimes with the gopis. Thereafter, with a desire to sport in the waters of Śrī Yamuna, Śrī Baladev ordered Yamuna to come before him. Considering Śrī Baladev intoxicated, however, she neglected his order. Then Lord Baladev, the son of Rohini, became angry and began to pull the Yamuna with the tip of his plow. At that time, Yamuna became extremely afraid. So after falling at the feet of Baladev, she begged for his pardon by offering various prayers. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 65. Chaturdasha bhuvana palana shakti jar, kakastane bati ane ki mahatvatar. For he who possesses the power to maintain the 14 worlds, what is the glory in bringing back a bowl from a crow? Tatapi tomar karya alpa nahi hoy, je koro she satyachari vede koy. Still, your activities are not insignificant. Whatever you do is eternal and confirmed by the Vedas. Hase Nityananda Tana Shuniya Stavan, Balya Bhave Bole, Mui Koribo Bhojan. So she offered all these prayers, and then he's like, I'm going to eat. After hearing Malini's prayers, Nityananda smiled and in the mood of a child said, Mui Koribo Bhojan, I will eat. Nityananda dekhile tahar stana jhore, balya bhabe Nityananda stana pana kore. As soon as Malini would see Nityananda, milk would automatically flow from her breasts, and in the mood of a child, Nityananda would drink her milk. E mata achintya Nityanandir charita, ami ki bolibo sab jagate vidita. Such are the inconceivable characteristics of Nityananda. What more can I say? They are already known throughout the world. Koroye durge karma alokika jeno, je janaye tattva she manaye satyaheno. His activities are extraordinary and incomprehensible. Anyone who actually knows him accepts his pastimes as true. Aharnisha bhavaveshe parama uddama sarva nadiyai bule jyotirmoy dham. Absorbed in transcendental ecstasy, the most effulgent Nityananda wandered day and night throughout Nadia. Kiva jogi Nityananda kiva tattva gyani, jahan raje mata icha na bolo ye keni. Some say that Lord Nityananda is a great yogi, while some say he is a great philosopher. Others may say whatever they desire, and why should they not say so? Jai Shekene Nityananda Chaitanya nahe, tabu she charana mor rahuk hridaye. Whatever relationship Nityananda may have with Lord Chaitanya, I still keep his lotus feet within my heart. Eto parihare oje papi ninda kore, tobe lati maro tar shirer upare. This kind of verse comes up a few times, I think, in Chaitanya-bhāgavata. If in spite of hearing the glories of Nityananda, one blasphemes him, then I kick the head of such a sinful person. Tabi lati maro tar shirer upare. Lati maro means to kick, and tar his shirer upare, on the head. E mata ache Prabhu Śrīvāsa ghare, niravadi apane Gauranga rakha kore. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu resided in the house of Śrīvāsa. Lord Gauranga constantly protected him. Ekadin nijagrihe Prabhu Vishvambar, boshiache Lakshmi Shange Parama Sundar. One day, the most enchanting Lord Vishvambar was sitting in his house with Lakshmi at his side. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Lakshmi refers to Vishnupriya. Yogai tambo Lakshmi paramaharishe prabhur anandena janaye ratri dishe. Lakshmi was offering betel nuts to the Lord in great happiness. 1 second. Oh, okay. And the Lord was so pleased that he did not know whether it was day or night. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word dishe means the directions such as northeast or information. Therefore, the phrase ratri dishe means knowledge of the night, of night. Huh, interesting. Jokono takoe Lakshmi shange Vishwambar shachir chitete hoy ananda vistar. Whenever Vishwambar enjoyed pastimes with Lakshmi, Mother Śacī felt great happiness in her heart. Mayer chiter shuk thakur janiya Lakshmir sangete prabhu thaken boshiya. Knowing that this made his mother happy, the Lord spent time in the company of Lakshmi. Enokale Nityānanda Ananda Vibal Aila Prabhur Badi Parama Chanchal. At that time, the most restless Nityananda came to the Lord's house, overwhelmed in ecstasy. Balya Bhabe Digambar Rohila Rohila Dandaiya. Sorry, it's not broken at the right spot. It's okay. Okay. Rohila Dandaiya Kahare na kore laj Porananda Paya. He stood there in the mood of a child without any clothes on. He was so absorbed in ecstasy that he did not feel shy before anyone. Kahare na kore laj Porananda Paya. Prabhu bole Nityananda kene de gambar. Nityananda, hoy hoy, koroye uttar. The Lord said to him, "Oh Nityananda, why don't you have any clothes on?" Nityananda replied, "Yes, yes." Prabhu bole Nityananda, poroho basan. Nityananda bole aji amar gaman. The Lord said, "Nityananda, put on your cloth." Nityananda replied, "Today I will go." Prabhu bole Nityananda iha kene kori. Nitai bolen ar kaite na pari. The Lord asked, "Nityananda, why do you act like this?" Nityananda replied, "I cannot eat anymore." Prabhu bole eka kohi, koho kene ar. Nitai bolen ami genur dashabar. The Lord then inquired, "When I ask you something, why do you reply something else? You're not responding to what I'm saying." Nityananda replied, "I went there 10 times." Kruddha hoya, Kruddha hoya bole Prabhu, mor dosh na nai. Nityananda bole Prabhu, eta nahi ai. In an angry mood, the Lord said, "I have no fault." Nityananda replied, "Mother Śacī isn't here." Prabhu kohe kripa kori poroho basan. Nityananda bole ami koribo bhojan. The Lord said, "Please be kind and put on your cloth and put on your cloth, put on your clothes." Nityananda said, "Ami koribo bhojan, I'm going to eat." Chaitanya aveshe mata Nityananda rai. Eka shune ar bole hasiya bedai. Lord Nityananda was fully intoxicated with ecstatic love for Lord Chaitanya. He heard one thing and replied something else. In this way, he laughed as he wandered about. Hari Bol, Hari Priya Didi. Today's a great chapter also. If you ever get time, you can listen to the beginning of it. Okay. Apane uthiya Prabhu poraya vasan. Bahya nahi hase parmavatir nandan. The Lord then got up and personally put clothes on Nityananda. The son of Padmavati lost all external consciousness and smiled. Nityānanda charitra dekhiya ai hase. Vishwarup putra heno mone mone base. On seeing these characteristics of Nityananda, Mother Śacī smiled. Within her mind, she treated Nityananda as her son Vishwarup. She mata vachana shunaye shab mukhe, maje maje she rup ai matra dekhe. Often, Mother Śacī heard Nityananda speak exactly like Vishwarup and saw him in the form of Vishwarup. Kahare na kohe ai putra sneha kore, shama sneha kore Nityananda vishvam bhare. But she did not disclose this to anyone. She showed equal affection to both Vishvambar and Nityananda. Bahya pae Nityananda porila basan, sandesh dilen ai korite bhojan. On regaining his external consciousness, Nityananda put on his clothes, and Mother Śacī gave him some milk sweets to eat. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word sandesh refers to a particular type of sweet made from condensed milk. Aistane panchakir sandesh paiya, ekakai ar chari pele chadaiya. When Mother Śacī gave 5 pieces of sandesh to Nityananda, he ate one and threw away the rest. Hai hai vole ai, kene pelaila. Nityananda vole, kene ekatai dila. Alas, alas, said Mother Śacī, why did you throw them away? Nityananda replied, why did you give them to me all at once? I vole ar nahi tabe ki khaiba. Nityananda vole chaho avashya paiba. Mother Śacī said, I have no more sweets. What will you eat now? Nityananda replied, if you desire, you will certainly find them. Ghorer bhitore aye aparupa dekhe, she chari sandesh dekhaye parateke. To her amazement, Mother Śacī found those 4 pieces of sandesh intact within the room. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word parateke means in one's presence or in front of. Aye bole se sandesha kothai porilo, ghorer bhitore kon prakare ailo. Mother Śacī asked, where did the sandesh fall? How did they come within the room? Dhula ghuchaiya she sandesha loiya, harishe aila ai apurva dekhiya. Being struck with wonder, Mother Śacī removed the dust from the sandesh and happily came outside. Asi deke Nityananda she la dukhai. Ai vole bap iha paila kotai. On returning, Mother Śacī saw that Nityananda was eating those same sweets. She said, dear son, where did he get those? She found them in the kitchen, but then she also saw him eating them there in the other room. So they like doubled somehow. Nityananda bole jahan chadaiya. Sorry. Okay. Nityananda bole jahan chadaiya felinu. Tor dukkha dekhitai chahiya anilu. Nityananda replied, these are the same sweets I threw away. Seeing your distress, I brought them back. Adbhuta dekhiya ai mane mane gane, Nityananda mahima na jane kon jane. Seeing these wonders, Mother Śacī contemplated, who is that person who does not know the glories of Nityananda? Ai bole Nityananda kene more bandha, janilo Ishwar tumi more maya chado. Mother Śacī said, O Nityananda, why do you deceive me? I know you are the Supreme Lord. Therefore, please remove your illusion. Gaudiya Bhashya. In order to deceive the living entities, the Supreme Lord provides various kinds of illusion in their thinking. The conditioned souls then accept temporary objects as eternal. This is the influence of the Supreme Lord. Hari Bol, Banshiwala Prabhu. Balya bhabe Nityānanda air charan, Dori bhare jai ai kore polayan. In the mood of a child, Nityananda tried to grab Mother Śacī's feet, but she ran away. E Mata Nityananda charitra agadha, Sukritir bhalo duskritir karja badha. The characteristics of Nityananda are unfathomable. For pious persons, they are beneficial, and for sinful persons, they create obstacles. Gaudiya Bhashyam. Fortunate living entities obtain beneficial results from the characteristics of Nityananda. Unfortunate living entities achieve obstacles in their activities due to their misconceptions. They aren't able to reconcile Nityananda's activities. Nityananda ninda kore je papishta jan, Ganga o tahare dekhi kore palayan. Even the Ganga runs away from a person who blasphemes Lord Nityananda. Gaudiya Bhashya. Being unable to realize the actual identity of Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, many conditioned souls who are bound by the wheel of karma from time immemorial blaspheme him. On seeing such offenders who commit offenses through their blasphemy, the Ganga, who takes away one's sinful reactions, runs away from them rather than destroying their sins. If the Supreme Lord becomes angry, then Nityananda, who is manifested as the spiritual master, can remove the Lord's anger. But if one commits an offense at the feet of the spiritual master, who is the manifestation of Nityananda, it is extremely difficult to nullify such an offense. Vaishnaver Adhiraja Ananta Ishvar Nityananda Mahaprabhu Shesha Mahidhar. Lord Nityananda is Ananta Shesh, the supreme controller, the maintainer of all the universes, and the king of the Vaishnavas. Gaudiya Bhashya. Lord Ananta is described in the Matsya Puran 2:48-37 as follows. Yasmar Brahmadayo Deva Munayash Chogratejas. Looks like it's not broken up. Tejas Anna Testam Adhikachanti Tenas, whatever. Tenanantas Tvam Uchase. Sorry, guys. Since the demigods such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva and the powerful effulgent sages could not reach the end of your glories, therefore, O Lord, you are known as Ananta. Anta means ends, and un makes it the opposite, so it means endless, no end. Unlimited. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam 1:18-19, it is stated as follows. Yonanta Shaktir Bhagavan Ananto Mahargunatvaryam Anantamahu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, unlimited in potency and transcendental by attributes, is called Ananta. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam 4:30-31, it is stated as follows. Na hyantastvar vibhutinam sonanta iti giyase. Because there's no ends to your opulences, you are celebrated by the name Ananta. In the Rig Veda, it is stated, Ananta Shakti Paramo, Ananta Virya Sonanta. He who possesses unlimited energies, who is the supreme controller of all controllers, who possesses unlimited strength, is known as Ananta. Okay, we only have 3 more verses. Jete kene Nityananda Chaitanyer nahe, tabu she charana dhan, rahu kridaye. Whatever relationship Nityananda may have with Lord Chaitanya, I still keep his lotus feet within my heart. Vaishnavera paye mor, e manaskam, mor Prabhu Nityananda ho Balaram. I offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas and pray that Nityananda, who is none different from Balaram, may always remain my master. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya-Nityānanda Chandajan Vrindavana Dasatachu Padajuge Kan. Accepting Śrī Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends this English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on the Caitanya-bhāgavata Madhya-khaṇḍa, chapter 11, entitled The Characteristics of Nityānanda. Jai Śrī Nityānanda Rama ki Jai. Śrī Mālinī Devi ki Jai. Śrīvāsa Thakur ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki Jai. Mother Śacī ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. That was a really delightful chapter. All right, so tomorrow we are going to be going over, what is it? Chapter, oops, I closed it. 1 second. We're going over tomorrow we'll be going over chapter 12, which is the glories of Nityananda, and we will read about, let's see, what things we're going to read. In chapter 12, tomorrow we'll be reading about Nityananda's endless childishness, his pastime of swimming in the Ganga, his arrival before Mahaprabhu without any clothes on, Mahaprabhu's dressing of Nityananda, offering prayers to Nityananda, begging Brahman underwear from Nityananda, and the distribution of Brahman underwear pieces to all the devotees, a narration of Nityananda's glories, the devotees drinking the water that has washed Nityananda's feet, the devotees' feeling of agitation by the influence of drinking that water, Mahaprabhu's description of Nityananda's constitutional position, and the glories of his mercy. I thought we were going to read about crocodile. Nityananda was wrestling with the crocodile. Maybe we will. Maybe that was a different chapter. No, it is. See, look. During the rainy season, everyone became frightened when he fearlessly swam in the crocodile-infested waters of the Ganga. Okay. We'll end with the Mahamantra. And it's actually good that we're ending early today because I have some work to do before I go to Mayapur this morning. I'm going to try to finish this Sachi Sunvashtakam, making a translation. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Gurudev ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Maha Bhagavat Shila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrīla Baldev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Naam Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gaura Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Jai. Shri Shriman Nityananda Avadut ki jai. Shriman Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Jai. Shri Mālinī Devi ki jai. Shri Śrīvāsa Thakur ki jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya Mata ki jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya Nandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Vishnu Priya Devi ki jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda. Jai Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataye Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, Nari Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Champak Mataji, Krishna Mai Didi, Yashoda Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is there. Hari, let's see. Raseshwari Mataji, Haribo, Shasharmaji, Vidyalalasa Didi, Sudevi Didi, Hari Priya Didi, and Vangsiwala Prabhu. And I see a bunch of other people today. Wow, a lot of people joined today. I can only see your name if you write a comment though. But, so Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, look forward to seeing you tomorrow for more glories of Nityananda. And then the day after tomorrow will be the beginning of this pastime of the deliverance of Jagai and Madai. That's a very special part of Caitanya-bhāgavata, one of the most prominent parts of Caitanya-bhāgavata. So that will be exciting. And what's coming up in the calendar? Let me just take a look really quick. 1 second. Okay, so Ekadashi's in 6 days. Today is Makar Sankranti. Makar Sankranti ki jai. Shri Ganga Snan, what is it called? Anyways, today's a good day to bathe in the Ganga. Although it's freezing cold, I'm probably not going to do it. But at least I'll go for darshan. So in 6 days is Putrada Ekadashi. And then in 7 days is Jagadish Pandit, the disappearance day of Jagadish Pandit. Although on many other calendars, it said that Jagadish Pandit's disappearance day was yesterday. That's what Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj follows that. It's on many calendars. So I guess there's a difference of opinion when he disappeared. But then in 8 days from now is Srila Bhakti Kumud Chanta Goswami Maharaj's disappearance day. It's also my lunar birthday. Then Purnima is in 10 days from now. Then in 13 days is the appearance day of Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Ramachandra Kaviraj. And in 15 days is the appearance day of Bhakti Sambandha Turiyaswami Goswami Maharaj. Right. And then after that are like so many, like, what is it? Advaita Saptami, Vasant Panchami, which has like 5 or 6 appearance and disappearance days on it of like our most prominent people. So that's a huge day. Then Varaha Dvadashi, Nityananda Trayodashi, appearance day of our my Gurudev's appearance day. And before that is Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj's appearance day, then my Gurudev's appearance day. Then what else? Then I think Parm Gurudev's day, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada's 150th Vyas Puja. And there are more special days also. The month of Feb, like, yeah, it's just going to be filled with tons of TTs. Shiva Rat. Yeah, anyways, whatever. All right. Dhandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Does anybody have anything to say before I end the stream? All right. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol, Hari Priya Didi.